Critical step missed. What happened on Jet2 Flight 2152? It was supposed to be a routine flight. Jet2 Flight 2152 departed from Tenerife, bound for Manchester with 186 passengers on board. The skies were calm, the forecast clear. But just 45 minutes into the flight, something went terribly wrong. Something that would leave investigators stunned, families shattered, and a veteran pilot with a decision no simulator could have prepared him for. Captain Alan Mercer had flown for over 28 years. Known among his peers for his poise and precision, today's flight was meant to be a simple close to a 3-day European rotation. Beside him in the cockpit was First Officer Jake Turner, young, sharp, ambitious. He'd been flying commercial jets for only 2 years, but he had the textbook knowledge down to perfection. In the cabin, Flight attendant Rachel Collins did her final checks. She smiled at the newlywed couple in row 14, helped a nervous mother in row 26 calm her crying baby, and gave a thumbs up to her colleague, Marco, in the galley. Everything was as it should be. Until it wasn't. At 39,000 feet, just past Portugal, the flight was cleared to ascend briefly to avoid turbulence over the Bay of Biscay. Captain Mercer nodded to Jake, who initiated the climb. But almost instantly, alarms began to chime. "Cabin pressure anomaly," Mercer said calmly, scanning the instruments. The warning panel glowed red. Pressurization failure. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling. Panic spread among the passengers. The plane began to shudder. "Emergency descent," Mercer declared. "Get us to 10,000 feet. Fast." Jake initiated the descent, but something wasn't adding up. Despite the proper emergency maneuvers, cabin pressure wasn't stabilizing. The crew wore their oxygen masks. Passengers screamed and clutched their armrests. In the back, Rachel helped a passenger who had passed out. Her hands trembled. This wasn't a drill. This was real. Then came a sound that made her blood run cold, an unnatural metallic screech, followed by a thud. As the plane leveled out at 10,000 feet, things temporarily stabilized. Mercer made an emergency call to Bordeaux, requesting immediate clearance for landing. But while systems seemed to be recovering, Jake kept looking at the cabin pressure gauge. "Captain," he said slowly, "this isn't making sense. The outflow valve, it's acting like it's fully open. But we didn't command it." Mercer frowned. The outflow valve controlled how pressurized air left the cabin. If it stayed open too long, pressure would drop dangerously. Jake pulled up the maintenance log. There had been a checkup on the valve just 2 days ago. "Get the manual override ready," Mercer instructed. Down below, Rachel noticed something else strange. 2 men in the rear of the plane had stood up during the chaos and weren't responding to crew instructions. One clutched a duffel bag, the other whispered rapidly in a foreign language. Rachel's instincts kicked in. She alerted Marco, who radioed the cockpit. 2 suspicious passengers, possibly interfering with rear systems. Mercer's got twisted. Sabotage. As the aircraft neared French airspace, a second alarm blared. This time it was the hydraulics. Elevator pressure was dropping. Without it, they'd lose pitch control. Jake shouted, "We're losing elevator trim." Rachel tried to keep passengers calm, but now even the crew were visibly shaken. An elderly man began hyperventilating. Babies cried. The cabin was a chaos of gasps, prayers, and beeping warnings. In the cockpit, Mercer barked, "Manual reversion. Prepare for full hand flying." They were 30 minutes from Bordeaux. The co-pilot switched systems, but Jake's fingers froze. "Wait. Captain, look at this." He pointed to a digital log. Step 14, hydraulic safety bypass reset, not completed. It had been missed during the pre-flight system check. Without it, the pressure anomaly cascaded through multiple systems. The outflow valve malfunction was just the beginning. A single overlooked step. A single tick box ignored. And now 186 lives hung in the balance. Mercer's heart pounded. He keyed the mic, "Mayday, Mayday. Jet2 2152 declaring full emergency. Request priority landing. Possible flight control failure." Rachel had made her way to the suspicious men. "Sir, please return to your seat now." The man turned, revealing a faint smirk. Then he shoved her aside and sprinted toward the rear service panel. Rachel recovered and tackled him mid-stride. A small device fell from his pocket.